I'm Pro Walker Sweeney. I'm the INBRE Project Manager at NDSU. I'm here with Brent Voels from Dakota Community College, and we're going to talk about his educational research journey. So, Brent, tell us a little bit about yourself, your educational background, how you got into research, when you first learned about research.
Okay, so my educational background, I have bachelor's degrees in biology and chemistry, and I have my doctorate degree from the University of North Dakota in biochemistry and molecular biology. When the first research experience and opportunity that kind of occurred was as an undergraduate at NSUM. They conducted some undergraduate research off and on, which I participated in. And what also occurred is I applied for a research experience at the University of North Dakota during a summer session. And that was actually one run by Dr. Van Does up here, which I was accepted into, and that was kind of gave me the experience and necessary background to kind of get further into research and potentially go to graduate school. After receiving my bachelor's degrees, I did another summer's worth of research on plants. This one again at Moorhead, State University of Minnesota, under Dr. Chastain. And so my mentors earlier along the way were probably really Dr. Chastain, Mass Mary, who I did research with at NDSU. My undergraduate advisor, Dr. Provost, helped me a lot. And Peter Meberg was the professor I did research with at UND during that summer research. After all that, I applied to graduate school, and working with Dr. Van Does, he suggested I work with Donald Sens and Scott Garrett and Seema Samji, and so that was the laboratory I ended up going into, and they happened to be part of the INBRE lab. What was nice there is upon nearing my graduation date, they were able to help me get a faculty position out at Kikina Community College, where I'm still able to participate in INBRE research with them and still collaborate with them on certain projects. And to this day, pretty much Donald Sens, Scott Garrett, and Seema Samji are still my mentors a couple years past graduation at this point.
So you talked about biochemistry and your interest in chemistry. How did you decide on that as a major, that you wanted to pursue that field?
Kind of just an overall interest, kind of just going beyond more of memorization of anatomical parts when it comes to like the human anatomy. The interesting thing about biochemistry is that's where, to me, a lot of the relationship came between like pharmacology and biochemistry and drug discovery and medicines and things like that. And so that's kind of the area I decided to delve into. It was also really, really interesting to me, the level of complexity at that small of a scale as I studied it. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose that field.
You mentioned also your continuous circle of mentorship and how that's developed your growing body of research interests and the work that you do at the tribal college. So say there's a tribal college student that wants to do something similar, or maybe isn't aware that research could be something that is really beneficial to them. What would you say or encourage to students that might not seek out research? What are some things that helped you get involved with research?
Well, one thing I would say to them is that when it comes to research, that's where you move beyond the standard textbook style of learning. and you start to investigate problems that don't necessarily have an answer right away. And in order to look into those things, it forces you as a researcher to kind of delve deeper into the information and further your understanding. So it's really beneficial because what research starts to prove and what you end up being able to do is, as a researcher, you become a problem solver. And you also become a little bit of a self-motivated person in order to do that. So it's really a valuable skill set that comes from that. You know, not just the techniques, but just the basics of being able to be a problem solver, self-motivated. You know, and then in the long run, a lot of the techniques used in research in one area are easily applicable to others. So the skills go far, and you know, a lot of times that can lead to job opportunities and other academic opportunities as well.
Aside from the skills that you mentioned students benefit from doing research, are there any research projects that are going on at Tedesco-Chicana Community College right now that students can gain those skills and other skills?
Oh, of course. Right now at Tedesco-Chicana Community College, we have 2 different projects that I work on and another project that a different faculty works on. I'll discuss the other faculties first. She's a coyote behavioral researcher. So anyone who's interested in field work can work with her. She does live trapping and tagging of animals to see their behavior. My research is definitely at the bench style research. I have 2 projects. One is a breast cancer research project, and another one is involving bioremediation using mycelia to remediate soils that might be contaminated with heavy metals, either from fly ash presence or from a oil spill. In all those cases, no matter, hopefully between those 3 projects, there's something that appeals to several different students. Each of those projects will have its own set of different experiments that they can delve into and different skills that will be learned.
Do you have any final words of advice for students that might not realize that research is an opportunity for them?
Well, I would say, you know, don't be intimidated by it, and at least give it a try. There's no harm in taking a little bit of time to participate in something and give it a try. If you don't truly know if it's for you or if you would like it, without participating in it at least for a small amount of time. So you should be willing to at least maybe find a mentor who's willing to work with you on something and at least give it a little bit of time to see if it's truly something you may or may not like.